is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, folks, I hope everyone is doing well. If you can see my screen, if you see the column in the center of the screen, please raise your hand. Most excellent. All right. Today I want to just finish up enough Sketchup that you feel like you could do this for those who want to pursue it. But then we're going to start on some TinkerCad and let you have an opportunity to do some TinkerCad. It's another program that allows us to do computer-aided drawing, and I think you're going to find that there are different tools for different projects. So what we're doing with SketchUp, I think, is really pretty good for architecture. Now, most people, where we got last time, was most people had these two inserts and then they had steps. All right. Is that fair? Let's put our hands on. How many people have got these two spots done and some steps done? Raise your hand. So raise your hand if you got the steps, and even if you just got these two inlay places done. All right. All right, great. That's about half, and and I expected something like that. So let me just remind you what you want to have. I'm gonna move this over a little bit. We have a question. Let me pull up that up. Ethan, if you try the webinar now, go on Facebook. It's not Facebook, YouTube. You'll see it there. And I'm going to review some of it now, but it is on there. The recording is poor quality. I had to use the GoToWebinar software, and it just, for whatever reason, it does not get along with YouTube. I'm not sure what's wrong, but it just doesn't. So if you look at it, it is on there now. All right? And I will also post another link up there for you. All right? I'll put this all down. I hope that helped. Do you know how to find it, Ethan, on YouTube? Okay, good. Try it up there. See if it's up there for you a little bit later, all right? And I'll put new webinars, and if people didn't get it, we'll make sure you get it in the future, okay? Now, let's talk about this column. I'm going to hand through this. What we did, I'll just do a real quick, super fast. Don't feel like you could necessarily follow this, but here's a rectangle. I'm going to be in feet. There's dimensions in this. I'm going to make it, I set my template up in architectural feet and inches. 15, single quotation. If you see the bottom of my square, wait a minute, it was 50, not 15. 50 feet, comma, 150 feet, enter. All right. See it right there? All right, then we used this command over here. Look over to my light right here. And when you click, you make sure you get it on the reg. So what is it? Just so you, this is the follow me we learned up there. And this comes in off a, let me get on edge. Let me zoom in here a little bit. If I'm on edge, click on, I pull that out. And I'm going to make that distance, I believe, is 6 feet. All right. Try that again. Let me start pulling it out before we do that. 6. Why is that not? It's really strange. That is really bizarro. I've done something wrong here, folks. Because that... Nice. Let's get this back out. Try this again. It's the offset, and I couldn't even bring it up before. Let me try on edge. Then you bring it out. There it is. It's working this time. I don't know what I was doing wrong. We're going to make that 6 feet. Press enter. There it is. All right. And along the whole thing is 6 feet. Then we'll hit the P push-up. We'll pull that up to 2 feet. And all right. And then we pulled that one up another 2 feet. And just at this point, let's just go ahead and go with that. Let's see what this is. Oh, I know why. There it is. And this is not, the dimensions aren't quite that right on this, but you see how we're basically laying this out. I'll give you the dimensions in the PDF for that. But there it is right there, kind of starting to get our temple thing going. I'm going to go back here and look at the other one I have. And what I can do, so there's our temple. So we're trying to make this thing right here. I'll make sure that Mr. Bauer has the PDF for you. All right, so we're trying to get to this. And then we use the line to try to center this. So I go down this edge until I find the edge. It'll change blue. There it is. I know that's the midpoint. I draw a line out. It's just there to let me know where the midpoint is. And then you can draw another rectangle right here. Follow that red. And make that rectangle, I think we ended up being 2 feet, comma, 10 feet. The only thing I don't like on SketchUp is it automatically defaults a lot of times till inches here. Let me go pull this around. Let me hit M. So that'll give me an idea what the steps would look like if those steps are right. The way we're going to check that is I'm going to take this. I'm going to click here, one endpoint, go to the other endpoint, and see that's 2 feet. Yeah, I wanted, yeah. We do that. Try this again. I'm going to try and make a rectangle here. Whoops. There we go. Pull this out. Again, we're going to go 10 feet, single quotation mark, comma, 2 feet, single quotation mark. Hit it. There we go, 10 to 2. Hit M for move. Kind of line this up. Again, on this thing, on the area, find the midpoint of this and draw a little string. Then using the move, we can line these both. I'll delete that. I'm going to hit me for move. And we'll get something like right there. And we can play with that. I mean, I don't want to spend much time. I want to go down to TinkerCad. All right, let me see if I can answer some questions. And then what you would do, real quickly before I answer questions, you hit P for pull. Whoops. Make that a 2-foot step. Well, I'll make it a 1-foot step. Command Z. Let's do that again. P for pull. 1 foot, sorry. There's 1 foot. Copy these steps, add them on to your... All right, Control key, Control V. You'll get another set of steps, though it doesn't seem to have gotten everything, so let's try this again. Sometimes I swear I don't know why it's playing games with me, but it is. Try this again. Let's go 1 foot. There it is. Triple click on it. Control copy. Control V. There it is, and just start lining these up. And making your steps. Now I don't know if I centered those or not, so I'm rushing this just because I want to get to TinkerCad, but I want you all to see it. All right, there's our steps. All right. Whoa, whoa. Okay? Now, again, you would line it up a lot better than this. All right, let's see your questions. Okay. Did you post last webinar? Yes, John, on YouTube. How do you change units to feet? Go, okay. All right. Let's go through all these questions right now, folks, so we'll get you all up to speed. It is on YouTube. All right? They're all on YouTube, and you'll find the past webinar on this. And it'll slow down so you can see exactly what I was trying to do there. All right? How do you change units to feet? Start, get out of SketchUp, go in, select template, select feet and inches architecture. Did you post? Yes. Do we need to have this built? No, you don't. I'm just showing you for architecture. Since we had a lot of people miss last week because of labs, next week we'll have the labs already made. What you really need is TinkerCad more than what we're doing. But I would like you to see this because this would make a good thing for a social studies project. So I'm going to hit O for, so right there it is. Okay? All right, any other questions? I'm glad you're asking questions tonight so we can get this set to go. And again, I rushed those steps. They look a little choppy. You can take your time to do a better job than that. All right? Yes, Jaden, what's your question? No, you're not supposed to have TinkerCad up now. How do you get the dotted lines on the pillars? I'll do that. Let me ask Jan. He didn't hand his hand up. Yes, Jaden.
On that second pole thing where you made the inside square, I made it 2 feet in, not 6 feet in.
Oh, okay. Well, and I mean, I can go back and we can look at the dimensions. You just, if you make it a different dimension, it'll be a different looking architect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it is. All right, I'm going to mute you out there, buddy. All right. No, we're not supposed to have TinkerCad up now, John. If you look at it right now, this is SketchUp. Does everybody know what has gotten Sketch? I thought we had done SketchUp in the past, a lab before that last Monday, or I guess it would have been, yeah, Monday. How many people don't have SketchUp? Okay, great. We all have SketchUp. All right, now, how we got these lines here is kind of cool. So let me go ahead and hit hand. All right, it would be great to be able to run up lines along this to help you line things up. So to do that, we go over to this ruler. Now, I'm also going to bring something else up here real quick. We're going to have Windows Instructor showing up here. So here it is. And if we look at it, it says, hey, if you want to use the ruler, tape measure tool, click at a starting point, move the cursor, click at the ending point, you're going to get a measurement, right? If you hit the Option key on a Mac, and I think it's the Alt key on a Windows machine, it changes it over, and it creates target or guidelines. And so you can play with this a little bit. So let me go ahead and click on it. So if I click on this line here, or if I click here and go straight up with it, I can make a guideline up to here. See that? Again, see how there's that little blue button? I just have to be on an edge to do this. And it takes a little practice to get used to that. You've got to have to do the guidelines up here, and it doesn't like it. You got to wait till I have it blue. There it is. It won't, so you got to stay in the correct axis if you noticed. So if it doesn't make the guideline, it probably is because of that. And then you can do things like this. If I orbit around and back it off, I can go back over here to this guideline. Come on the edge. You got to be on an edge. And then come up. But remember, you got to stay. See how this is that blue? You got to stay along that. You can see my line is blue right there, right? And I just put another one in there. And you can sit there and get rid of them all. When you go to edit, you can delete all the guides. So don't worry about having too many guides up there. What it allows us to do is to put this square right in here. There's 6 by 6 inches. We put that square, we pull it up, and then we make the columns off of it. Okay? Can you download SketchUp on a mobile device? Not really. I don't think they make it. You got to have a computer. Sorry, Jason. Okay. Now let me ask, since this is your class, and I can go either way, I was going to get a start on TinkerCad. Would you like to learn? Because I don't want kids frustrated. They're a little frustrated with this last time, but how many people, raise your hand, would like to know how to make that column, make this box, rectangle, go up the column and make the rest of this? Because once you have this, then you can copy it and put them all the way down the temple. If you would like to know how to do that, raise your hand. Okay. Put your hand down. I put everybody's hand down. Raise your hand if you want to go right on the TinkerCad. All right. We have a resounding request to go to TinkerCad now. I will post some more how-tos on this a little bit later on the Roman temple. All right. Because I really don't like the video we have up right now. It's kind of junky looking. So with that in mind, I will post that and you'll be able to show you all the way through the temple. Okay, folks? Does that seem reasonable enough? Okay, now let's go ahead and let's go into Chrome. Bear with me. And let's go to, all right, let's drop this down. This right here. This is called TinkerCad. All right, you're going to have to create your own TinkerCad account. You need to list that you're at least 14 years old to create said account. So just use your birthday in the year 2000. Show your moms and dads what you're doing so they know. It's a very family-friendly account. It's aimed at school kids. But they want you to know that, all right? So let's go ahead, go to TinkerCad. I'll even get the screens for you to see it. Let me go ahead. I'm going to pause the recording here. Recording. We're going to use TinkerCad right here, folks. And we're going to talk about 3D printing in a minute. Let's jump down. We'll go to 3D printing in enough time. It's an easy 3D program. It's free. It's easy. You'll find it very useful. This is going to go to this site, TinkerCad.com. You need to be using something like Chrome or Internet Explorer. Safari doesn't play well with it. I'm sending it to you right now. Okay? It's going to ask you to create a free TinkerCad account, or it's going to say Autodesk on that. I'll bring up the other TinkerCad lesson I have. And then you get to sign up for a free account, okay? So we'll get you started on that. So there, TinkerCad, you're going to have that window. Raise your hand. You don't download software. This is on the cloud. You just access it. So go ahead, sign up for your account, all right? All right, can you download SketchUp? No, on a mobile device. Is TinkerCad like SketchUp? Not really. I can't figure out how to sign up for TinkerCad. I'm not sure what to say. You go ahead, you say you want to sign up for a new account. Like if I go to TinkerCad, I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to log out of this, so this way I can show you what it would look like. So here I come. I'm going to get TinkerCad. Everybody look at this. I'm going to create a free account. The first thing it's going to ask you is your birthday. Make sure it's above 2000. It's like 2000 or later. If you put down you're 12 years old, you'll never can sign up with this account until it shows you're 14. All right? So the year, I don't care what, just make sure you put like 2000 because we know you're 14 if you're born in 2000. Then, here's my birthday. You can, days of the week, you pick whatever birthday you want. And then you do next. And then you sign in. Don't sign up with your Facebook page necessarily. Email and a password. Oh my gosh, sorry, my screen's frozen. Thank you. I don't know why it does that sometimes. So let me show you this again. Create my free account. Make sure I say birthday. I pick a year, date, time. That's like 2000. All right. Not yet, Cooper. I'll help you on the tutorial in a minute. You are going to do the tutorials, but let me get you started. Then select your birthday to go next. Make sure your parents see what you're doing here, okay? And then we're going to go, you know, February 6th. Then I'm going to hit next. Then I can sign up. I wouldn't sign up with my Facebook necessarily. I would use a password and an email, all right? And you create your account. So like right now, I'm going to create my account. I'm back to here. Now, okay, raise your hands if you've gotten it. Raise it if you've gotten to the website so you've accessed it now. All right. Caden, raise your hand if you've got it. You can't really do this on an iPad. iPads and tablets are great, but they don't do quite everything yet. Have you gotten it? Jason, I'm not sure what happened. We lost you off slide there, Jason. Hopefully get more people on here in a second. All right, great. We got a good chunk of folks now. Now, up here, look at my screen. You have TinkerCad, you have features, and all that does is show you what it looks like, right? Then you have learn, and that's going to get you going with take a lesson kind of thing. Galleries are all the other things people are designing. And they can share them, and they're pretty amazing. All right? And then there's their blog, which, you know, if you hit blog, go back up here to your tab. You got to go back out. All right, so I'm going to go into TinkerCad now. Okay? Get everybody to this point. Mine says Tom Dubik. Yours is going to say whatever your login name is. By the way, I'm printing this out right as we speak. All right? Tell me, raise your hand once you're at this screen. Okay, I only have about half the class, so if you're using an iPad, you can't get to this, raise your hand because you're never going to be able to get to it today until you get to that, until you get to a computer. And you may have to just watch it later. But please raise your hand. Let me know. Caden, let me know where you stand on this. Luke, let me know where you stand on this. Ty, Aiden, Jason. Jason, your computer freezes and crashes my computer. Are you using Chrome or Internet Explorer, Jason? While he figures that out, Firefox. Well, I don't know how Firefox runs on this. Try Chrome, okay? Now, you would think it would run all right on it, but I don't know that. Maybe there's a problem with that. Okay, let me go through. When you go to Learn, if you click on that Learn thing, you can go ahead, take a lesson, and you just go begin these lessons, the basics. I'm going to show you some things, and then I want you to do the basics. I want you to do the first 10 over the next 2 days. I would like to see us work over the 10 lessons. I only have Safari. Well, watch what we're doing now. This will be recorded, Caden, and you can look at it with Chrome down the road, okay? Because it won't run on Safari. And it's free software, and for everything else you have to, you know, all right? And it won't run on an iPad that I'm aware of. But let me show you, please, some basic things to help your speed to getting this together, all right? So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to tinker it. And their tutorials are good. All right, so here it is. Not surprisingly, scroll in, scroll out, you roll back and forth on this. I put these things here. I'll show you how they all move around here in a minute. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right, now, Let's even do and I've got delete example. Say if I did a new one, I'd get some funky name, amazing glue, that mean nothing. If I want to give it a name, which I usually like to do that, go to properties and give it a real name. Your name with your name in Mr. D, second example. This way I know what the file means. ZZZ is anytime I do that means you can throw it out. I don't need to save it. It's not important to me. All right. Yes, there's a download to MicroTab. Yeah, you can download it, make something in TinkerCad, and drop it into Minecraft. How cool is that? So, everybody look at me, please. This is really important. Okay? Now, we've got the scan in, scan out. All right? If I'm going to show you right from the get-go, you take geometric figures, you drag them over, just like that. Everybody, go ahead and drag that figure over. Take a red block, drag it over. Raise your hand when you've done it. All you do is grab it and drag it. A little bit like Sketchup. Raise your hand once you've done it. And if you've got a browser that won't work for right now, just raise your hand so we're not waiting on you and you're never going to be on it. Sorry, I don't mean to be mean or don't want to, but you've got to have Chrome. You got to try those things. All right. All right, Jaden. All right, Cole. Sorry for the guys that's crashing out your computers. All right, now. Once I have that, I'm going to zoom out, or I can zoom in, rolling my mouse in, or I can use this plus and minus, so whichever one works for you. Notice there's this black one. That lifts you off the ground and pushes me back down. The white ones allow me to change dimensions. So if I move that one, it pulls it this way. And some of these you just got to experiment. And then we're going to hit Edit Undo. Right up there, that little wrinkle there. And if I hit the Shift key and grab one of the little white corners, the whole thing, it scales up. The whole thing scales. And again, I'm going to hit Undo. All right, so do you see how that all works? Go ahead. Put your hands down. Try that. Click on the black one. Lift it up. And then you can just hit Undo to put it back where it is. Click on the white ones, pull them out. Oh, that one's kind of moving it or dragging it all over the place, right? The black one, stretch it. That's pulling it this way. It's pulling it out this way. I'm going to hit Undo on the whole time and get back to what I was. Okay? Now, the next thing I want you to see, you all done that. All right, now I'm going to show you this next part. Then you're going to refer it. See that red angle? And sometimes, if you hit the Shift key and hold your right mouse button, you can what's called pan around, right? If I didn't have the Shift key, it turns everything. But if I hold the Shift key and do this, I can go back and forth. You see this? This allows you to turn the box. Now, if I just grab that red thing and rotate, but it's only going to rotate in major, 22 degrees, 5 degrees, etc. But if I go out from here and go to the little outside of this, I can do little degrees. I can do it degree by degree right there. Now I'm going to go undo and put back where I was originally. Go ahead, do those things for me, folks. Raise your hand once you've done them. And don't worry, take your time. We're not... All right, guys, raise your hand if you can't, one, if you don't have the program, you can't run it, or you've gotten it done. I'll look at questions. All right, I made my name. John's jumping into this. Okay, Cole, where are we staying on this, buddy? Ryan, Caden, let me know. Raise your hand if you can't just even run the program. All right. Now, let me show you the power of this program. I'm going to click on a cylinder. I'm going to drag it down here. I'm going to drag it right into that box. See, I got this orange cylinder, and I'm going to flip it over on its side. I'm using the right mouse button to pull over. I could also do it like this. Okay? Let me line that up a little bit nicer. All right, here's the cool thing I can do. I can make this a hole. So when I click on this, one of these objects, you see color or hole. I'm going to make it a hole. It looks like that. Then when I group these, see how they're grouped? I click, it eats a hole out of it. Let me show you all again, and then we can do it together. I take the cylinder down. I'm pulling it right in there, and I'm just shoving it into the red box. Click on it again. I can make it a hole. I'm clicking on it as a hole, and then I group it. I select both of them, and I click on group, and it bites a hole in it. When you've done that, raise your hand. Raise your hand, folks. Once you've got it, just bunch it out. Do you have any questions? I'm happy to help you. Teacher, we live for that. How do you group it? All right. How you group it is this way. You highlight it. I mean, right now I got people telling me they're on another lesson. I'd rather you guys watch what I'm doing than going on to another lesson, folks, because I'm going to show you some things that are in the lesson here in a minute. So please, I'm super excited you're that into it, but please watch what I'm doing here as well. All right, you see this square and this triangle? If I go to group it, just go up to where it says group up here. And you'll know they'll be the same color. If I ungroup it, they'll go back from their colors. Aiden, did that help? Okay, raise your hands once you have it, folks. I don't see the group symbol. It's going to be right up here, right above the undo, redo, adjust, group, ungroup. But make sure you've got two items to group. If not, it'll be grayed out sometimes. Then you got to highlight both of them, then click group or ungroup. See, the group and ungroup will be unfaded out until you select them both. Did that help, Aiden? Have you highlighted them? Let's see who's saying this. Okay, let me do this, Aiden. I'm going to talk to you. All right, Aiden. Hey, Aiden.
Once I highlight the two shapes, it doesn't
All right, look
show
up on the
them.
top. Look up on the top. Do you see undo?
No.
Okay, something, either your I don't know if you've shrunk your window or whatever. Let me pull. All right, do you see TinkerCad to your left? Like, see where my cursor is? Do you have that?
Yeah.
Do you have design?
Yeah.
Edit?
Yeah.
Help?
Yeah.
Undo?
No.
Okay, that's, say, and redo's not there, and I assume adjust is not there as well.
No.
So, and then these things here are not there, the helpers.
The other shapes are after the ungroup are there.
So this is here and this is here, right?
Yeah.
Is this inspector window somehow on top of it?
I don't.
Click outside that inspector window. Maybe you're adjusting, undoing stuff. Maybe it's covering behind those. What web browser are you using?
Chrome.
Okay, it should be working. Did you get rid of that window to see if it's behind there?
I just had to make the TinkerCad full screen and it appeared.
All right, good. You got it. Excellent. Mainly, we're glad you got it. Okay. Now, let me show you, folks, even if you've gone on the tutorials, because you are pumped, you think this is the greatest thing ever, let me go through some other things we want to do. All right. When I bring that square out over here, let me show you a tip that I found works great. Go under helpers. Can I have everybody look at helpers? I'm going to select ruler. I'm going to pull the ruler way over on the side of this. And the reason I'm going to do this is it's going to give me an opportunity to set numbers. So there's my helper. All of a sudden I have all these square footage. If I click on this, I can now type in 24.5. And I can make this one 24.5, 24.5. So I can get it absolutely accurate. All right. If I don't have it, I click X and get rid of the ruler and try to change something. So if I click on that, the minute I go over there to change it, I can't do it. That's why you want to put the ruler. Don't put the ruler up close. I used to do that. It really makes more sense to put it out here. Can everybody try putting up the ruler and then typing in a number to see how it changes? I mean, you can lift it off the ground. If I go up to this black one right here, wait a minute, and I say I want to be 5, I'm now 5 off the ground. All right. Again, people, Cooper, are you looking at what I'm doing as well? Make sure you raise your hand once you've done it. To save, go to design, go to properties, and type your name there. It'll take it a second to pop up. Raise your hand, folks, once you've gotten to this point. I can take you to the next step of this. because then I'm going to get you on the tutorials. We're going to do the first 5. Then I'm going to stop talking and let you do the next 5 tutorials. Then I'm going to come back and show you more things Wednesday to do. Okay? I want to show you how to use the work plane and the adjustment tool if we can. But let's get the work plane today. That's probably a realistic goal here. Raise your hand. We're all waiting for you right there. And in fact, all right, let's do this. I'm going to launch a poll. How's real quick, if you vote on this, I appreciate it. It gives me a sense of what I'm doing. Go ahead, vote on it. I promise you, we'll just have that up long enough to go. 65% voted, 71% voted. I'd like to be to 80. Come on, folks. Everybody can vote on this. All right, we're at 82%, 88, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close poll. Share the results. Some people say I'm a little bit slow, but most everybody really like the pace. I understand if you've done this before, I am going a little bit slow, but that's okay. I think we need to be, I'd rather us go slow than going too fast. All right, so now we have the cube. Let me show you the next thing. If I want to go to type a letter in there, I just go over to letters and I grab one. But say I wanted it on that side. Well, I could angle it and I can do some things to try to get it over there, but it's really not going to work well. It really just wants to be in this plane. I can lift it up. If I grab it by anywhere but those white and black things, so anywhere else on the B otherwise, I can grab it and kind of shove it down. And, oh man, that's not really where I thought it should be. Okay, there it is, but wow. Now it's kind of aligned. All right, what would make it, but how do I get it over here? Well, how you get it over there is with the W key. And you see that little blue pen with a little white pie? Put that on the face. When I click that, it's orange out here. Now when I bring in another B, watch where it goes. It mounts on that side. I can push it in. Since we're going to be printing these on 3D printers, you tend to push things in. That way they'll be in the print. Now I'm going to hit W out here and puts me back to where I was. So if you'd be so kind, play with that. Try to put B's or A's and letters all over your block. This is a good way to turn your block around too. Here I've got my little angle. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to turn it. Oh, notice they're not grouped. Oh, no. That's why we group it. Now when I group it, watch what happens. Turn the colors change so I know I've grouped it. And voila. How do you like that? Voila. All right. Raise your hands when you've done that. Go ahead. Remember, if you can't remember how I did it, I go up here. I could select it up here, work plane. I'm going to hit the W key. I'm going to put it on the wall. And then I'm going to select something to put against that wall. Right there it is. Hook outside of it, click outside of things, and you can put it back to originally was. Group it if you want to be able to move everything on it. If I try to, like I can move it with my hand right now, but if I try to move that red block, oh no, the brown block stayed right where it was. I repair that by grouping it. Now the problem with that is now I can't move it separately. To do that, I have to ungroup it. Okay, boom. All right, go ahead, raise your hand once you've done that. All right. Let me see what questions we have down here. We got lots of questions. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm so sorry. Okay, the poll, does it look better now? We got it? Good. Sorry about that, guys. So again, let me show you this. Let me show you with the W right here. I'm going to try to spin this whole thing around. I'm going to group it around. Group it. I'm going to take this little angle. I'm going to pull it out. Just want to turn a little bit. All right. If I wanted to put something here, if I brought a letter in, it wouldn't go well. It wouldn't fit in there very well. So I go up here to helpers. I hit W for work plane, or I can click on work plane, right? And it comes over and it goes against the side. Now, get rid of this one. Bring another letter in, B, and notice it'll go right into the side of this. I can even push it in a little bit. Boom. And then once I want to get back to the normal plane, I just click anywhere out here, hit W, and it'll put me back to where I was. If you don't group it, it'll do this. The B will just stay there. Group it, it'll change colors. There you are. Okay. Sorry about that. Hopefully, man, I looked down and saw all those questions, so I was like, oh, and I know what I did. Shoot. All right, good. We're set there. Raise your hand once you've done that a little bit. That you've used the work plane. Now you can drop it on different sides and things. All right, excellent. All right, now, let me just show you, and then we're going to let you work on the tutorials. You can work at your own pace through these tutorials, okay? All right, I've engraved my name on the red block. Well done, folks. You guys are knocking it out. All right, let me show you something else, guys. I'm going to take this whole thing and move it. All right, say I had letters here. And I have no idea what this means. I just have them here. And I have them different sides. It would be really great if I selected all 3, 4 of these letters, if I could align them up. Luckily, we have this little adjust tool. And if you've grouped everything you want to adjust, then you hit align. And you see this? This will cause everything to move over to A. This will move everything to the center. This will move everything to J. That's not really what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to get everything up at the top of the line. So I go right here and I can look at my orange letters to see if that's what I want. Let's move them all down. Boom. Now they look super snazzy. Look how they used to look all over the place. If I take them all, then I do adjust and do align, and I play with it until I see, oh, that moved them all on the bottom. That would move them all on the top. Right there, right? This is moving to the center. We don't want that. This is moving to the right. We don't want that. We don't want that either. So we're going to go and say this time right here. And there they are. Go ahead and try that, folks. Put your hands down. And you can use on the adjust screen what's called a mirror, and it works something similar where you highlight what you want to mirror. You select mirror, click on these little red arrows. See how it flipped them? Again, highlight them, go to adjust, select mirror. It flipped them that way. A lot of times you can do it. It seems like you can only do like one adjustment. You can only do one mirror at a time, it feels like. I may just be doing it wrong, but that's how it always seems to work for me. Let me go ahead and hit shift and move myself down here. Got right click. All right. Okay, folks, I'm going to put everybody's hands down. Come over here. We're going to show you. Let me show you. Go back to TinkerCAD. I want you to start doing a lesson here. I'm showing you how to do a lesson. Go to Learn. And then select Begin this lesson. And they'll be after you're doing this, some of these lessons are going to be very easy. It's going to learn more to move shapes along the work plane. Go next. Drag the bright light brown construction into the area outlined in orange. Be accurate as you want. And we're going to pull it right over there. Next. Great, you got it. Get started. Do the next lesson. So it'll start just taking you through there. Let's try to get through all these 10 lessons right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For right now, just if you can work on these first 5 lessons, would be great. Now you're not going to get all 5 lessons done in 5 minutes. But, let's try to get to those 5. And then next week, I'll give you, Wednesday, give you more tips, and then you can do the next 5 after that. Once you get through, though, about those first, all the way through, like right here, accessories and gadget, you're in pretty good shape of being able to do most things you like. And then we'll be ready to make, how many folks are into comic books? Got any comic book fans or, like in the movies and things? All right, I got almost a third of you. Well, I made some Superman versus Spider-Man checkers. That's what I used, but you could make anything. Go Hulk, Hulk smash. I like this better than Sketchup. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed, John. All right, but you could also pick your favorite, anything that's got a kind of a logo to it. So your favorite sports team could go on here. Your favorite band, musician could go on here. Whatever your logo is that you like, we could make checkers out of those. All right? Your initials if you wanted to make a thing like that. Kalen's got a problem. Can't log on to TinkerCAD on Chrome Martin. Cannot do project. Problem with WebGL. Any suggestions? Yeah, log all the way out, reboot it back up and see. That should run. Chrome should run on that. Make sure you have the updated version of Chrome. Try it that way. We run Macs with Chrome. We're running Mac Minis. You should be able to run that. So, folks, let's try to get through these tutorials. I've showed you the basic skills of most of this. All right, so it shouldn't take you terribly long. if you do these lessons and you practice at this, you'll get better and better. All right. Let me see. We always get a lot of questions. All right, folks. At this point, you can leave at 7:30. I'll stand for a few more minutes if you need a hand. If you got a question. How many people, raise your hand if you enjoy doing TinkerCad. A lot of you people are jumping out, but all right. Excellent. That makes me happy. I'm glad to hear you like it that much. We'll take that. All right, great. So let's go ahead. I will see you tomorrow, or excuse me, I guess it will be Wednesday. You have lab next week. Okay?